What's up, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just typing Count of Funky Cristo. Yo, what's up? Holla! What's up, Heck? What's up? All right, so I'm just kind of rearranging some things here. I to adjust my deal here. Okay, you guys feeling good? To take this thing right. Get rid of the title. Stuff it. So change it. Your watch page. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right. Yeah. Namaste, Super Ant. How you doing? Okay, I'm gonna turn my camera now so you guys can see. So I just wanted to go ahead and just do a little bit of sketching tonight. I have to jump on a commission. Everyone's excited. I'm pumped up for the gentleman of the brand on Indiegogo. So I'm going to be just souping them up a little bit here while I'm here, but also letting you guys know that I'm also counting down on my time left on my my deal. So here's the deal: if you want to back that particular deal, that particular black and red campaign, you only have a little bit of time left, only a couple more days. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my Indiegogo. See, I have all these windows open. I'm going to refresh it here. I am at, okay, we are at 72.23 here on my Black and Red Indiegogo campaign. If you guys want to be part of that, by all means, jump on. More than welcome. All right, who do I have here? Who's with me? Oh, Lafayette. What's up, Holmes?
How's it going?
Oh, snap. So precious. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you early, man. I was running around. What's up, Holmes? Oh, you're going to have to.
No, yeah, I turn on YouTube on one device and this device and then that device. It just takes forever.
It's going to be crazy up in here. So yeah, so my black and red book is moving, guys. So those of you who are in the chat right now, let's see. X says, just came to say hi, but I have to go and make the class for the youth at church tomorrow. So hi and be blessed, brother. You too. Be good. Be good. So I am working on the concept art for one of the characters in the story that I'm developing, aside from Bubble Squatch. This is it's a regular Joe, but it's going to be an interesting story. Did I tell you about this one already? Not yet.
Is this the is this the horror story?
This is, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you know, about the married couple and so forth. And
No. That's different. GOP Gamer says, hi. GOP, what's up, man? What you got going on, brother? Show me. Let's
I'm just working at Canada Bear. Good old Canada Bear.
Look at that. Oh, I like the way you're directing me. Art around is so good, man. I love it.
People really, you know, what people enjoy. They like to see behind the scenes, like to see, you know, the drawings, like the you know, the concepts, and you know how you flesh it out and everything. And so I'm gonna show a little bit of that, and I'll show like certain, you know, the pencils before everything else goes on top of the pencils, and or I should say colors. I don't do the colors in the book. I just do the sample colors, and then somebody else actually does the colors. I just have to kind of guide them. You know, so like where's like the pencils to this stupid thing? Oh, there it is. And it's very loose too. I don't really, you know, pencil very like, that's basically what you get, you know. You get nice and loose pencils. And then you get some inks on top and slap some colors. And there's Canada Bear. looking mighty pissed off.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, good times.
I invited my buddy Mike to come on. See, John Piner joined us. Thank you, John, for coming over, brother. Thanks for being an awesome moderator for everybody. You're doing such a good job, bro. Such a good job. Can you guys hear me okay? Am I sounding all right? Am I loud or am I? Is it? What do you think?
Sounds okay. Yeah.
Good.
Are
So
you
yeah,
using just a mic on your computer on your phone?
I'm using. No, I don't have it on my phone. I have it on my computer. I just plugged in my Beats
Gotcha.
earbuds.
Gotcha.
So I hope it sounds okay. That's right. Get that black and red. What's up? So yeah, man, I'm excited. My buddies Antonio, Bryce, and King White, they're wrapping up their Indiegogo campaign here in the next so many hours, and so we're hoping that they'll get the maximum push at the end here while we do a little show. So I figured I'd jump on now for a little while, maybe for about 45 minutes or so, just to kind of get the blood pumping. I have to work on the commission tonight.
Okay.
I'm all on commission mode now for the next couple weeks until New York Comic Con, because then it's hit the road and well, get to the airport. We drove last year and it was horrible. It was a good drive. I love driving with my boy, but it was hard on me, man. I almost fell asleep in New Jersey. The road, like driving, no good. Not doing that no more.
How long is that drive?
From Florida, from here in Tampa, it's about I don't know. It's about like I want to say it's like I want to say it's like about 12 to 18 hours, depending on how slow you drive. Some
Oh
people,
shit.
I think it's more like the 15 hours. I think. Some people have done it in less. Um, Count of Funky Cristo, I love that name because I don't know if it's just me, but Elliot is a little on the quiet side. Am I quiet? See, and I've been talking all weekend, so maybe part of it is that. But let me fix that. Let me adjust my volume. Let's see here. Mm, 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 mm. How's that? Is that better? You guys, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right. So I think I'm already making a mistake here with this drawing. I've already committed to something that I wasn't really wanting to do. I want to get this guy's personality. I'm not just trying to do a sketch. It's just I'm warming up to. So I'm like, oh, I haven't drawn all day. I'm still. Convention was rough, man. It was a decent convention. It wasn't great. It was decent. Um, but there was a lot of learning that went into it. Some of this stuff I did talk to a couple of writers. Um, I'm working on something with one writer that is a pretty well-known writer. We'll see what happens. GOP Gamer says you shouldn't fall asleep in New Jersey. You might be attacked by a wild beast in that skyber. Bring a pie to distract him and get away. A little. Hey, look a pie. And then you just kept running like a bear. And from a bear. Oh, Canada bear. No. So this guy here is supposed to be. I'm gonna post some reference. I'm trying to draw a. The archetype I'm using here is John McClane from Die Hard. And
That's what he's supposed to look like.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I want that look. I want that everyman New Yorker guy. Let's see, let's see. And actually, he was even better in Man, I was trying to watch this movie today. I actually watched Die Hard 3. Was it Die Hard with a Vengeance?
Sam Jackson one.
Yeah, the Sam Jackson one. That's
Yeah,
a
that one.
great one. Man.
That's my favorite. Yeah.
Is it your favorite?
I mean, one's hard to beat, but I like the way they did 3 and the way he made him run around and solve this and solve that and like all these puzzles and
That was what I like about it too. What the ones, and here's I want to go. I want to get a little bit into Transformers in a little while. Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah,
All
doing
right,
the trailer that looks like they might have finally got it right.
yeah. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. But
Yeah.
let me touch on my observations of Die Hard. I should put this in the description. A little talk about Bruce Willis. Now, here's have you seen any of the recent Die Hard movies like Die Hard, Live Free or Die Hard, or the last one,
Um,
Die Hard
I
and the
I
Followers?
did I did like the fourth one with sheesh, what's his name? His co-star in that movie.
That was the Live Free or Die Hard. That's the one where they had the terrorist attack from with the computers.
Yeah, that one was okay. It was okay.
I
But
liked it. I liked it. That's of the two recent ones because the other one is has his son and
yeah, that
his
one's a piece of turd. Yeah.
yeah, it probably is. Well, the reason why I like so I think what's happened, and then did you see the mechanic? Was it the mechanic? No, Death Wish.
Yeah, and and I've seen the original movies, and that was horrible.
Yeah, right. Okay, so here's what I think has happened to poor Bruce Willis because I love Bruce Willis. I think he played he did better acting in that GI Joe movie than he did in those movies, which is a shame. And for what I understand, I think he doesn't like. I heard Kevin Smith talk about this once that he doesn't really like. He doesn't like the Die Hard movies or something like that.
He doesn't like the sequels. Yeah.
The sequels.
Yeah, like rumors like he doesn't even like number 3, which is one of the better ones. And
Wow, really? You know what's funny is that that's such a it's such an on time film now. That concept. There's so much discussion on racism, and I'm like, wow, man, they were really throwing that hard, man. Let's see here. Hold on, John Pyre's laughing out loud. Michael W. I'm running through Publix right now. Doing that compra. All right, man. If you come on later, come on later. Humphrey Bear says, "Hi, John Pine." Uh, let's see. Justin Long was his name. Is that the name of the?
yeah, Justin Long. There you go.
Is that the? That's the young guy, right? That's the guy from
Yeah.
the Apple commercial. Or is
He
that
yeah, he's the guy. He was in that movie Husk. Was it Husk
he,
or Tusk, whatever
Tusk?
it is?
Tusk.
Yeah.
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 So here's my observation about Bruce Willis. Poor Bruce Willis. This is where I'm at with this. So I feel like I think he doesn't care about acting anymore, and he just kind of phones it in now and lets everybody act around him. It reminds me of what happened to Wesley Snipes in that third Blade movie. How everybody else took center stage, and even though it was a Blade movie, he was kind of like on the fringe. I feel like that's what happened to, and that's what's happening to this guy, to Bruce. I think it happened the same way in Death Wish. I really thought he was a great choice for that part, that character, as I remember the originals with Charles Bronson, and he didn't bring it home. So looking back at those other movies like that and his role on Moonlighting, remember that Moonlighting show back in those
Oh
days?
yeah, I remember Moonlighting.
Yeah, and then also this what else did he do? He did Hudson Hawk was another good one he did. Like he was just perfect in so much stuff, and I just feel like he's just not into it anymore. Sketch Therapy says, "Hi, what's up, Sketch?" So he's not really interested in these movies anymore, and I was sad, man, because that third one was a great like character piece. How he was interacting with Sam Jackson, and there was all that intensity going on, and they harkened back to the original film. This is what do you want to call this? Spoilers for anybody who's not seen Die Hard. If you haven't seen Die Hard, you should punch yourself in the face.
Really hard too until you die.
Really hard.
Yeah.
Really hard. But because I'm not going to stop talking about it, so spoilers to all you. But yeah, man. So anyway, but John McClane has always been one of my favorite movie characters. I mean, truly, like genuinely one of my favorites. And I think the reason why is because he is he's a he's like he's one of those good guys that is not he's not a perfect character. He's very flawed, and he gets beat up a lot. And in every movie, because I watched the third one, and I watched the fourth one with Long. And man, he he almost and then from what I remember from the first one, he's got blood all the time, all over the place. He's like a punching bag for these guys, and I love that. I love that about that character. And so that's what I have here in this guy. I'm not sure if I want to give him this balding hairstyle though. Might be too much. But so I have other drawings. I think I like him better with a corrupt hair. So this thing right here I'm working on is a story about. I have the general gist of it here. I'll tell you guys about here. Just so few people watch stuff here. It's basically a he's a this is that I think I mentioned it recently. This is a story about this guy who disappears on his anniversary night and comes back years later, but indestructible.
Yeah, this is the story we talked about. That's kind of has like the.
Oh yeah. We did talk about this. You're right.
Yeah. He did. Yeah, he comes back indestructible, and he
Oh
just.
yeah.
And remember, we talked about how he's kind of like Bruce Willis from Unbreakable, and
Yeah. There you go.
I mean, you're basically drawing Bruce Willis's autobiography. You're just trying to hide it in a comic book form. That's all you're doing. I mean, remember Die Hard? Yeah. Oh, he just mailed it in. My book's nothing like that. Like that's all you're really doing. You're like, yeah, mine's nothing like that at all. I mean, he's like that, but he's not like that. Like, what are you talking about?
He's Bruce Willis without the Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I mean, he marries Sammy Dorr. Sammy, what? Yeah, not Demi Moore, but Sammy Dorr. Anyway, that's not what I'm trying to say.
His name is Stu's Gillis.
Yeah, what else was? Yeah, there you go. You just switch things around. Yeah, instead of Bruce Willis, it's Woos. Woos what? Yeah, his name was Woos Billis. Woos Billis. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
But this story is going to be drawn in my traditional classic comic style. I'll be taking this to another level with that stuff.
But this is your main like project though. What we talked about.
Yeah, because I have the other one is Bubba Squatch, and then I have a third one that's like the ones. Those are the two that I have to get out of my system. Sketch Therapy says one of you has a really loud voice and the other is very low. I think you should lower his mic a little so you guys even up the sound. Okay, all right.
Well, that's probably my mic.
I'll lower you over here.
I got like a studio mic.
See, I gotta get one of those. How is there only 15 people watching this? I don't know, Benjamin. Listen, guys, if you want to help me out, here's a great thing. First of all, there's 16 people watching and only 5 thumbs up. So that's disheartening, I must say. Secondly, another 17 people. And if you guys don't mind, go ahead and share this like on Twitter or wherever on Facebook and just tell people, hey man, Elliot Fernandez is drawing and he's hanging out with Lafayette Acevedo. They're just having a good time talking about stuff. We're gonna get into that next. So anyway, so the character is not really Bruce Willis, but the character I'm developing here is his template is Bruce in that he gets beat up a lot. I want that guy. And I have another story too, man. I've been working on this other one for a while also. I'm going to need to employ another writer as well because I have a lot of good ideas, but I can't. Some of them I can't like tighten down. Like they're fun, right? But like I'm good at world building, but then thinking about specifics, like I couldn't tell anybody about. Oh, this guy goes. I can't write a mystery. I couldn't write a mystery. I couldn't write a. I mean, I could say, hey, these are the parts and the components, but I get more caught up in the elements of a story versus actually telling the story. So I'm going to probably be using some help as I go along. But this other story I have is called Dead Honeymoon that I want to do. It's about this couple that go on this show, and their relationship is on the rocks. They go on one of these talk shows, and what happens is they end up stuck in this. The guy that is heading up the show invites a guest, who's like some kind of psychologist, but it's running this special lab where they're actually running these controlled environment experiments on couples. And so the idea is to kind of like do some sort of therapy in a space where they're confined and they have to sit there for a matter for the course of 2 or 3 days, and they get to control the food they eat, and they get to control just to see and test, what is it about the environment that's affecting relationships and that kind of stuff. All this time this is happening, something occurs and a a zombie virus breaks out, and the couple is stuck in the room until throughout the whole thing, so they don't know anything that's going on outside of the in the regular world, and everything's kind of jacked up, kind of like in that movie. What's that one? The one with like the Raccoon City. Help me out. Come on,
Right? You talking about Resident Evil?
Resident Evil. Yeah, 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 yeah. Because that one scene, remember when Mila Jovovich, whatever her name is, remember when she gets out of that lab, or and she pulls all the plugs out of her. I always thought that was a really interesting moment where there's this like moment of like, oh crap, what the hell is going on around me? So
The
I like
best.
that.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, the thing is, you picked out the one good moment of all 5 movies. That's what I do like. That
Yeah, that
you
was the one
just
moment. Yeah.
you pick the one moment where you're like, oh, this movie's pretty good, and then you watch the rest, you're like, oh, I must be on something because
Well, I dig Mia Joe. I think she's attractive. I found her to be interesting to watch, but I've enjoyed her in other things too. My favorite of her movies is Fifth Element.
oh, I
Anyways,
mean, yeah, that's for everyone.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyway, this couple gets out of that chamber, but after all, they finally get out. He breaks something, and she's like, "I knew it." You know, it's a typical New York couple. You know, he represents me and my wife, or rather, they represent my wife and I. How we get into his little spots. It's actually a dark comedy, and the one moment that kind of sold me on this, when I was thinking about this concept, the moment that I loved the most was this idea where where they're going down by like somewhere where there's like a strip club, and one of the zombies comes out naked, right, with pasties or something, and
Yeah,
the guy pauses. She's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, what are are you staring at her boobs? You know, that kind of concept. I just thought that was a funny moment that any guy would go through. Because I remember that movie, Return of the Living Dead, or is that
oh
right?
yeah. Mhm.
Remember when that girl's dancing in the that, when I was young and I saw that movie, that messed me up because I was like, oh man, she's so hot, but she's also a zombie. You know, I couldn't stop looking at that, and I that was a moment that I thought would be funny to depict in a marriage, in a marital couple. So then the story, the guy's actually the loser because all he does is go bowling with his friends. But the daughter, this takes place like in the 80s. The daughter, or rather the wife, the wife, she plays duck hunt with her son. So she's been practicing with her gaming, her shooting, shooting like a faux shooting gallery. So she becomes the shooter, and he all he has is like a baseball bat. She's the more useful of the two. It's kind of like with me and my wife. I'm useless.
Don't put that
Jose
on the internet. Yeah.
Jose says Michael Fassbender. Who's that? This guy? Oh, it could be. Austin says looks great. Thank you
Yeah, I
very
can
much.
say yeah, he kind of looks like that. Yeah, I like his hair.
Yeah, I gave him a little bit of the, the receding hairline.
You gave
It's,
him the Bruce Willis. Yeah, you definitely did.
yeah, but not the Bruce Willis has that weird thing where he spikes it up back here. He just looks like he woke up wrong out of bed. Poor guy. Never got that hair right.
And remember, he doesn't have a cape. We've talked about this. I told you he should have a cape because every hero has a cape.
Talking about Die Hard.
No, you're a guy. You're Michael Fassbender now. He's not even Bruce Willis anymore. The guy ruined it for me. Yeah. Now he's Magneto.
Jose says it looks like him in, as Mags in X Men Apocalypse.
See, I didn't even read that
No,
comment. I just know stuff.
well, I gotta fix him. I want to give him more of a busted nose though. I want to fix that because he's
Did you
a
did you see? I'm pretty sure you've seen all the leaked footage of the Joker movie.
all right, man. I don't know what's going on.
Hey,
I don't know what's going on. You just triggered me, as the kids say. I've just been triggered. I
I
don't
just
know.
want to know what you think about that because it's not part of the DC universe, supposedly.
It's not.
So no, it's not. Supposedly it's not. It's like a like I don't know what they're doing with that movie. To be honest with you, because it's a one-off or something. I don't even know. But it's
I
supposedly not part of the universe.
she was all right. Okay, okay. Let me prepare my soul for this.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
Here's how I feel about this Joker. First of all, he's ridiculous. He looks like Ronald McDonald. Period. I don't care what they say, and I've heard people all over Instagram are just like super excited about this guy now, and they're drawing him all over the place. I'm like, why don't you just draw Ronald McDonald? In fact, I'm gonna draw Ronald McDonald, and I'm gonna call it the Joker. You just watch. I'm gonna do a black and red of it and everything. Anyway, my problem with it is that everyone, it's like people were so angry, I guess, at the Leto one, but they're just gravitating to this one. It's not better. I don't like it. And he looks like the makeup he put on was so deliberate. Like what I loved about Heath Ledger, and I still argue that I don't feel that Heath Ledger was really playing the Joker. But he just happened to be, he played a good psycho guy, in my opinion. Um, but at least he looked like when he put on that the makeup, it was always coming off, so it wasn't perfect, right? And it's a standalone. Mike W says it's a standalone origin story. He looks like he's 17 years older than the last one. Anyway, I'm not gonna see. I'm getting that. So then, not only is he like that, but how do I say this stuff here? So he has the makeup thing, and he's got the very deliberate. One side is wiped down. Oh, it's talking about Ledger. So then Ledger's like lipstick always looked messy. Like he didn't. He just swiped it on to be ironic, right? So this one has very specific things. It's like he looks. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. And then I thought I was like Joaquin Phoenix, but he's ugly as this character. What do you think?
Uh, you know, you know,
You like it? You
he's
like it?
such
Am I
he's
talking
such
about
a
you?
good actor.
Is it?
It's hard to just judge it by what I've seen. You know what I mean? Like, and it's so it is in that universe. I mean, I know that like Thomas Wayne is in it, and I think both his parents are in it. The thing is, what confuses me is it takes place in the 70s or 80s, and I'm not sure like what's the point of it, I guess. I mean, I've read that it's not part of it, and then I've read that it is part of it, and that it's the origin story of the Joker. My guess is this: it's the origin story of the Joker, and that it's kind of like the Red Hood story, where it ties into the Batman and the Robin thing. Where see, Leto is not the Joker we think. The original Joker is Phoenix, and Leto is Robin, and that's why he's damaged, and so that's why he has the tattoos. That's why.
Hold on.
That's why
Hold on.
That's why Affleck looks like it's like when you see the Robin suit.
Is that a real thing, or is
No,
that
no,
just
no. This is my
going through?
theory. This is my
Oh, okay.
theory.
Okay.
That when he looks at the suit and it has ha 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 and I got you or whatever. It's because that's Robin. I mean that's Robin that did that. You know what I mean? It's like you've lost me. I'm when Joker got a hold of me, I'm totally damaged. I'm effed up. I'm this. But who knows? I mean, that would make more sense. But I mean, that's the way I would go about it. Because what doesn't make sense is Thomas Wayne is in the movie, in the Joker movie.
Is he supposed to be Batman in the movie?
I don't think he's Batman, but I think he plays a big part, which, he doesn't, as we know in the comics, he doesn't play any part when it comes to the Joker's origin. He just plays the part of killing his parents, depending on the origin, of course. But I mean, because Alec Baldwin was Thomas Wayne, and then he had to drop out because of scheduling conflicts, and somebody else took the role.
Well, he was Thomas Wayne. Thomas Wayne was in the origin, but he was killed.
Okay. Well, that's just it. He was killed in the flashback that we saw. Yeah, and that was played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Right, I think he's playing Thomas Wayne again.
It's fine if he is, but that's what I'm saying. It's just all confusing. It's all I don't know what's going on anymore.
What do you guys think in the chat? Do you guys think that this makes sense to you guys, that there should be this much? I'm confused about the whole thing now. Does Wonder Woman still exist anymore? Are they going to move forward with the Justice League? Is Cavill actually, he quit, or was that just a rumor? And why is there so much confusion? Why can't? Oh, my head hurts. Batman and Joker are brothers. Thomas Wayne cheated on Mark. Oh, yeah, he's just crazy. He's just crazy with that
They
kind
did announce today that the Birds of Prey movie comes out February 7th, to 2020, um, with Margot Robbie heading it up. She's the producer of the movie, actually.
of. Okay.
And then they announced
We're talking
Suicide
Carolina.
Squad. Suicide Squad 2 comes out next year.
Do you care about the Birds of Prey? Are you a DC guy?
No, I'll watch it. I don't care about the whole DC Marvel thing. I'll watch them. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I'm saying, I mean, you're not anti. It's not like you don't watch DC.
no, I'm not one of those guys that go Marvel's better. You know, I'm the guy that goes, oh, DC, come on, you could try a little bit harder. You know, but you know, it's just I don't know. Birds of Prey, but Birds of Prey is not what we think, though, right? Because Harley Quinn is the main character in Birds of Prey. So, you know, and when we know of Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn's not part of that, right?
Right, because it's
So,
supposed to be Batgirl
and Huntress, and
yeah, maybe
there's a
I'm
third one.
maybe
But
I'm
yeah, that's what
partial.
I'm saying. They're just, you know, they need a vehicle for Harley Quinn. That's all they need. So if we and the villain in that one is Black Mask.
So
I think that was it.
they're keeping Harley as a. I wish they would just make Harley a villain. I don't like her as a anti-hero. I don't think she works that way to me. I don't know. I don't know. Unicorn Cast says DCU is screwed.
Yeah, I
um,
mean, you're not wrong. But the upside is though is when you have shit, you have a better chance of making better shit,
it's
right?
true. It's true. You're right,
So
and
you know,
it could get better. You know what it is. I think I've never. I guess I'm not the DC fan I thought I was. When I jumped onto DC in the comics, I jumped on when I jumped on when what do you call it? When Brubaker was writing Gotham City Central, and what's his name? And Jeff Johns had just rebooted or fixed Hawkman, and I was so impressed with that. I said this recently. There was a new artist named Olivier Coipel. He had just taken over a book called Legion, the Legion of Superheroes, and I had
oh
never read it
yeah,
before.
oh yeah, yeah. I love his art on that book. Yeah.
Remember that when he did Legion Lost? Oh,
Yep.
it was good, and it was a great little deal, right? So it introduced me to these because I was kind of tired at the time of reading Marvel, and I was spending a lot of money on comics and toys, and still do, but actually not so much comics. I still buy figures here and there. And so anyway, then I got into it, and I'm pretty well versed in the DC universe. I mean, I'm really well versed actually, but there are some of these characters I just always felt they were still, no matter what, are still kind of generic. So it's almost like in Marvel for me, I never really cared for the New Warriors. They always felt like a generic B team. They're like a C team. They weren't even a B team. You know, if Defenders were the B team to the Avengers, they were just kind of like on the side, and they had that bouncing guy. But a lot of people that grew up at that time really still enjoyed those books. So I guess there's an opportunity there to kind of say, oh, we're these characters are not in the movie. Oh yeah, there's a whole part of the population is going to be like excited about it. Whereas me, I've always felt like Birds of Prey was just kind of like a, yeah, sure, yeah. And Black Canary was always part of that, right? Uh, Benjamin
That's who it
Hopwood,
is. There you go, Black Canary. That's who it is. Yeah.
yeah, she's the third one. Is that Mighty Mouse with the?
Yeah, Mighty Mouse is he got the gauntlet because he's Mighty Mouse. So people need to shut their mouth. And then this one always attracts so many people at cons. That's hilarious.
That one right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Benjamin Hopwood says DC would make better movies if they stuck closer to the source material. It's as simple as that. Yeah, maybe. So I don't know, man. So speaking of source material, there's something I think is almost universally wonderful. What do we say about Transformers?
Oh, you know, here's the great thing about the Transformers is Hasbro basically took it over, and their plan is to reboot the whole thing based on this movie. So this movie has no tie-in to what Michael Bay has given us. They want the characters to be as we remember them from the 80s cartoon. That's why the characters in the new preview that came out today, I think,
Yeah,
look like the 80s cartoon. You're like, oh yeah, we don't have all this crazy, like ridiculous looking technology on the robot. Like we don't, hide all that stuff like they did in the cartoons. And that's why it looks so badass. Not because John Cena's in it. That's the reason I'm gonna see it, but
I don't even. I'm not. Why is he in that movie? Is he?
because he's John. Did you see him in the preview?
Looks,
Did you see him?
he's a goofy doughboy wrestler.
Because I didn't see him in the preview because no one can see John Cena. So.
So Jose says, I thought this was a prequel to the Bay movies. I actually heard more of that too. I heard the same thing that
yeah, you're not wrong. But they're using this as a jump off point. It's weird because you're right. They say it's a prequel to the Bay movie. It makes no sense. It is because according to the Bay movies, the first time they ever came to Earth was the first Transformers movie. But they're saying it now. It's a jump off point for the new franchise that is away, getting away from Michael Bay nonsense. I mean, that was just nonsense. So.
Now, I'm in the minority here. I actually like the Michael Bay movies.
Well, what did you like about them? Did you just like the fact that we saw Transformers on screen?
No, well, first of all, I'm a Shia LaBeouf guy. I liked him, like the Booth or whatever. I didn't think there was anything wrong with that guy. And he brought a level of humor. He brought to this franchise what Robert Downey Jr. brought to Marvel movies, like a sense of humor and like a fun aspect to it. And I love that Bay's movies tend to be kind of like the comic books that I like. The only thing that they don't do is smoke cigars and cigarettes. Like that's how I like Wolverine, when he's just being himself, not controlled, by the what everybody thinks is bad. So I like that. I like that Bay movies seem to be that all the girls always seem to be sexy and they can also be smart and they can be action and strong, but for sure they're it's like an old school comic to me. Um, Same thing with the heroes. The heroes can be tough and it's okay. So there's a lot of testosterone in those movies. And I also I thought that the third one was especially interesting to me because I love the idea that the stakes were so high. I really felt like, oh my gosh, how are they going to get out of this situation? Chicago's jacked up. Like they took over everything.
Yeah, the one where Optimus Prime got duped.
Yes, and he fights what's his name?
Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, the red guy. So that movie, I thought it was executed well. I actually saw. I've become more interested in The Last Night over time also, as a weird science fiction movie. Maybe not as a Transformers movie. That's what I like about it, because I also like that movie Battleship. Did you see Battleship?
Yeah, I saw that. It was horrible.
I like how you set me up with. I'm like, oh yeah, you did. Oh, okay. I like that movie too, but I like it for the same reasons. It's just kind of mindless, and it's just fun. So I think that's what I liked about them. Now I'm in love with this new interpretation. I just don't know what's going to happen, because Bumblebee doesn't look that different from what he's looked like recently in the past, right?
No, he does. No, he doesn't. He does look better, but it doesn't look much different.
Right.
Like I said, what they did is, I don't know if you noticed, but it's like I said, they hid all the, you know how if you look real close at those robots, there's a lot going on,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and it's like they hid all that, like with like they did with the toys back in the day, where it's just big chunks of metal covering everything up. You wouldn't see that.
Right. No, I'm with you on that. I think I do believe I agree with that, especially that I thought that I've always thought that the action was too because of all the detail that they were. I like the idea of the detail. I didn't think that Bay's interpretation was terrible. It just didn't execute well on screen. So when you see them transforming, I don't know what's going on. They're fighting, blah 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 blah. Benjamin says, explain why we have not gotten a Space Ghost movie yet, or Herculoids. Benjamin, because nobody knows who those characters are.
Yeah, no one will actually go watch it.
No, I'm 45 years old. I grew up on that stuff, and I was watching the reruns. So no, this next generation doesn't get it. And you know, as much as I would love to see that, I don't think it's going to happen unless they did a good. They could do a good Space Ghost movie probably. I saw somebody post a picture of that guy from Mad Men. Who's that
Oh
guy?
yeah, 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 yeah.
They
They're
said he
talking
would make a
about
good.
John Hamm.
Yeah, yeah, he would make a good Space Ghost. I thought, yeah, he'd also make a good Batman too. I think.
Well, that's okay. There's a good one you just started. IGN, the website, the video game website, whatever.
Huh?
They reported the rumor that that's who DC wants to take over for Affleck.
Ah,
But Matt
ah.
Reeves, making the Batman movie, said he wants a younger guy. He wants like a Gyllenhaal type of guy.
Which I'm kind of in that camp. I don't need an old man Batman. I think that's a mistake because I want to see. I don't want to see that guy going. Oh, get. I don't want to hear him talk like Danny Glover. I'm getting too old for this shit. I want to see someone that's like interested in being Batman and committed to it. Not I'm tired of this job. Let's just kill people.
Oh, you didn't like that part in Justice League?
No, no, I don't like it. No bueno. I didn't like Justice League very much.
No, it's a horrible movie.
I like it better. Okay, I liked it better recently though. I watched it again compared to what was the last one I'm complaining about.
BVS.
No, there was something that just came out that I was like garbage.
You didn't like Avengers?
No, maybe I'm just anticipating how much I'm going to dislike
Shazam.
Captain Marvel. No, I don't like Captain Marvel.
Oh, Captain Marvel. I didn't get enough out of it, so I can't like be. Oh, that's horrible.
Well, I'm concerned that that's what they got in there. It's just that's what you got. That trailer was not a good trailer at all. They did this Transformers trailer we're talking about was amazing. They gave you all kinds of stuff. They gave you story, characterization. Even though they're not giving everything away, they just gave you enough to wet your palate. This one, she just looks so moody, and she's just always mad. And this for the Marvel universe being the place where it was fun, they're not fun. But you don't like the humor in those movies either, right? Are you one of those guys?
Wait, which movies are the Marvel ones?
Yeah, are you a Marvel guy? A Marvel movie guy? Do you
I'm
enjoy
okay
those?
with the humor in it. It always depends on the character doing it, right? Like when Rocket Raccoon cracks a wise one, you expect that, when Star Lord, same thing. That those characters you expect to get a laugh out of, So I mean that's fine. I mean I don't know. Like I said, Marvel hasn't really done anything wrong.
Right,
So,
right, yeah.
but the only problem they're gonna have is it all leads to one central plot, and after Thanos, then what's gonna be the new central plot?
So I'm glad you said that because one of my beefs about this Avengers movie is that I got a funny feeling we're done with Avengers. I think after this movie, this next team, whoever this next team's supposed to be, is never going to feel. It's almost like what the Defenders. When I remember when I had the chance to, when I first got into comics, I inherited my collection from my cousin, original collection, and it included a bunch of old school Marvel team ups, a bunch of old school Avengers, and on top of that, I had a bunch of um, he also had a bunch of Defenders, and when I looked at the whole thing, I didn't know who any of those guys were. I used to watch the '66 cartoons, with Doc Bruce Banner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch
Mhm.
those, so I had a good foundation for Marvel, and I was heavy into Spider Man, and they had the newspaper, the New York Post used to run a Spider Man um, comic strip, and so I was kind of decently versed in that. So when I get into the comics, I remember thinking, man, these guys look so like generic, and they were the time that they became popular. They had Angel in it. They had the gargoyle. I think was what he was called. He looked just like the demon Etrigan, but he was Marvel's version. They had Moon Dragon, the bald gal, which I always thought she looked kind of odd with the bald thing and the dot on her head. She looked crystal peachy on her head. This is Jose Lisa says Daily News. Not the Daily News or the Post. I thought it was in the Post. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Jose. You're gonna really gig me on a damn newspaper. Anyway, then and then they had somebody else too. And I remember thinking, meh. And they didn't really feel like they were fighting anything. They were just kind of generic. So I think that's what's going to happen with this next one because we've had like 10 or so years of these characters as the Avengers. Now they're going to replace them. And I like Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is still my favorite right now. He of all those movies, I loved Ragnarok. but I've fallen in love again with Doctor Strange because of that movie. I've always liked him, but now I really love him, and I can't wait to see more of him. But I really don't need him to even be in the Avengers movies. I'd rather see his own film. And same thing with Spider-Man. I don't think everyone needs to see him again in another Avengers movie. So I don't even like. I left the theater. I haven't really wanted to see that movie again since I left it, and it's not because I don't like it. I just don't care. So was that the same, or was that worse, or was that better?
That is horrible. You shouldn't even be a citizen anymore.
So you liked it, huh?
I know. I mean, it was good because it's what you waited. It's what you 10 years of build up, right? You waited for that, like all right, this is they're all coming together and fighting the one main thing and da 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 da. Da. So that's what, and who didn't, if you're a Marvel fan of those movies, there's no way you didn't like that movie for that aspect. But I have the same thing. Here's what's going to happen: is what's happening in the comics. Our next iteration of the Avengers is going to be a female, opposite of female Thor, and then it's going to be, it's going to be Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange. I would say, who knows if they're going to keep going with Steve Rogers or not? If it's going to be Falcon as Captain, who knows? Like that's what we're going to get. We're going to get a whole different cast, probably with a female leader because they want to go that route, and which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but in the sense of
that, but this woman is not she. I don't know if it's the character or if it's her as an actress. She's just not relatable at all. I don't understand her. Like I'm not. I don't have any. I'm not in any way like Robert Downey Jr., but he was easy to relate to, and I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I have to wait. Let me see. Let me read this chat real quick to see. Mike W says Secret Invasion. I think that's.
But see, Secret Invasion is more or less the Captain Marvel movie. So
is it?
I mean, she's like finding the Skrulls hiding on Earth and blah blah blah. She's already doing that. That's I think that's the plot of the movie.
Brian, Benjamin Hopwood says, Aaron Benton, what's going on? He says, I thought the Shazam trailer seemed fun. And then Jose says, Shazam trailer is terrible. I think it looked fun, but I also think, are you drawing the Joker?
You shut your mouth, okay? What people want. Continue talking about movies. I'm over here just kind of.
By the way, his nose is blue.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Is it? No, it's not blue.
Look it up.
The only blue part on his face is around his eyes.
Oh, take a look.
Hey, it's this part right here. Look, this part right here. This is the only blue part.
Look. Let me see.
Look. It's the only blue part is around his eyes.
Well, that's because you painted it there.
You shut your mouth. Anyway, long story short, Bumblebee looks awesome.
The Moon Dragon is Thanos' daughter. Sorry, Drax's daughter, Jose says. Right. Because Jose is my resident all things Marvel expert. He knows everything Marvel.
Yeah, you see, it's great that like you have the comic knowledge, but the movies aren't the comics. What you get on the screen is what you know.
Well,
there's
he's just talking about Moon Dragon, though. That's just
no. I got you. I'm just saying in general, like they won't give you that in the movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not gonna do that.
Like, I mean,
does that bother you though? I want those.
No, it doesn't. See, it doesn't bother me because I don't really.
You don't care.
We're not gonna get that deep into it. Like,
you know what? I don't care anymore either.
You know what I mean? Though, like people that get pissed that BVS sucked. Yeah, it sucked, but I found parts in it that are like, oh, that's cool. Like okay, whatever.
I did
that.
I can't watch it.
Don't get me. Yeah, it's hard to watch. That's for damn sure. It's a hard watch. But
you forget about that nonsense.
Yeah, no, believe me, that movie's. I mean, I was the one guy running around defending it. No, I mean, if you did this, and then people are like, "Are you retarded?" Nah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I was also defending Justice League, and I was like in my mouth throwing up as I was talking to somebody. They're like, "That movie sucked." No, it's really good. I'm like,
John Piner says, "I want a great Doctor Doom movie." You know what? I would like a Doctor Doom movie, but I don't like villain stories by themselves. I never do. I think they need, especially in Marvel. Marvel's villains they were always in service of the hero, not the other way around. Where I think you can get away with that. I don't think that I'm ready for a Joker movie, but I think because I feel like we haven't gotten a great Batman or Superman movie lately at all. but I could certainly see why they went that way. Benjamin says, "What if Strange becomes the Robert Downey Jr. of the next 5 years of movies?" Again, it doesn't matter because he's gonna be the Robert Downey Jr. probably because of his personality. I always felt like he was the counterpart to Robert because of his being kind of smart. Was it snarky? Is the term? But I think that I feel like I don't know. I feel like the movies are gonna go very political, like the comics are today, and it's gonna be about that. And I think I'm prepared to abandon the ship, so I'm already getting my lifeboat ready. Brie Larson, Jose says, Avengers 4 payoff is going to finally hear Captain America yell, "Avengers Assemble." And we'll see. I'm not
So
sure
that's the payoff.
that doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, I'm
Jose
like,
says,
I'm not gonna like. That's not a selling point. I don't care if they yell that out.
Jose says Brie Larson was only good in Scott Pilgrim. What part did she play in Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah, good point. I don't know.
Mike says, "Are we getting social justice Avengers?" Probably. Sketch Therapy says Star Wars 9 could be magnificent. I don't care. They called me a Nazi, but MCU is doubling down on white hate, white weights. Next, what's next? Brown hate. Am I black enough? Nope. Sorry, I'll watch Shazam. Okay. You see, Sketch, how you go on these run-on sentences? I just want to let you know. Jeffrey Recto says, eyes aren't aligned, bro. Oh.
I mean, it was well. Okay, I just read that comment about doubling down on white. What is it? White hate. White hate. I mean, I don't know. I don't read into movies like that. I don't.
I do, but
I mean, like I don't watch. Okay, first of all, I watched Black Panther, and I would say 90% of the audience was black, and they all came out and they're celebrating. Like, I don't know what happened in there. I just don't know what happened. I came out just going, oh, okay. I mean, it's okay. But but black people came out like something amazing happened, and I was like, oh. I mean, I wonder if it's like that when you guys see one of those like Big Mama's House movies. Like,
see, this is where I'm at with that. I'm tired of going to movies like Wonder Woman was a great movie, except for that last scene. But I'm tired of going to these movies because they're supposed to be uh, uh, historically important. I don't care about that. I just want them to be a good superhero movie. So Jeffrey, your eyes aren't aligned. I don't care. Oh, they're saying that you're drawing this guy named Nurkish. You probably don't know Nurkish is, but you're drawing him. They're right. Jeffrey says, or was it meant like that? Jose Alicia, the movies are more than Ultimate Universe character. More
it is true. I mean, that's kind of how it started. You're right. You're 100% correct. Those movies were based on the first Ultimates books. You know, you're 100% correct on that. Yeah.
So BVS was a major cluster F.
Yeah, and I see Jose wrote BVS, and we can spend an hour back and forth, Jose, about that. You're gonna be right, but I'm still gonna defend it. You know, the part where Luther takes Zod's body into the ship, and then that's how he makes Doomsday. Genius writing.
How did
Oh, Mike's here. What's up, Mike?
How did Luthor and Batman have the plan on the same day?
I don't know, man.
How did that happen? That's good quality right there. That movie was terrible.
Wait. So you saw the movie and you walked out thinking, like, you had yourself like 20 questions, right? You're like, what? That's stupid, right?
Exactly.
And I have 20 answers. Now they won't make sense either. They won't make any sense. But I'm gonna try to help you out.
Luthor was like, yo, we got together. Let's make this ill plan. We're gonna dupe over soups, me and you together.
Yeah. I like this. I like where you're going.
It did not happen.
We don't know. Maybe there's extra footage somewhere. Okay. Maybe there's maybe an email we didn't read.
Just like Luthor's crew in the lab, they came up with all the awesome symbols for all the characters. That was awesome. Come on, man.
Very true. They did. You really caught on to a lot of stuff. See, so you're not missing anything. I mean, you seem like a person that really liked it, but you're like, I hate it because there's too much logic in this movie.
No sense. There was no logic.
I mean, you just made logic. You clearly made sense. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because of you.
Not at all.
My favorite part was Aquaman saw the camera and got upset. He's like, "What is this?" And he flew at the camera.
And that was a good time for you.
And I loved it. I watched it over and over, like for 2 hours, going, "That's an Aquaman movie right there."
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, a great time. You sound like
a great time. No idea. I love it. I mean, the dumbest part. I mean, Wonder Woman was dumb. I mean, You know,
She was dumb.
is she with you? I thought she was with you. I would have been like, yeah, she's with me, bro. What? As a matter of fact, Batman, you fight her by yourself. Fight this thing by yourself. We're out of here. You know?
I thought she was. She really was the best thing in that movie, man.
No, she was. I'm just saying it was dumb just to throw her in there for the fact that let's just throw her in there. I mean, look what happened in the movie. They couldn't do anything. It was just like Justice League, where they couldn't do anything unless Superman did it himself. That was the dumbest part about Justice League. They were getting their asses handed to them the whole time at the end, and then he showed up and going, "Hey, you 4 or 5 losers, get out of my way! I got this." And that was the dumbest part.
If it wasn't because he had to take those cubes apart, that would have been the end of the movie. He would have destroyed everything.
Yeah, I mean, he just beat the holy hell out of him, and it was like, to him, it was like, oh, this is nothing.
This is why I don't like when people say that they like Superman that powerful. I always say you gotta depower him somehow enough. You can't be that strong. One of my favorite interpretations of him is what Bruce Timm did in the animated series. Remember that scene where he's trying to, people were like, oh man, come on, Superman can handle the airplane. Yes, yeah, a different dimension for all intents and purposes, but come on, man, the whole thing, if you can just do it with a pinky and solves all the problems, then there's no drama, there's no contrast. He's just so powerful. So I always feel like when people say things like that, they're kind of, they're I know what they want. They want a Goku fight. That's what they want. But I don't think that's what they really want. I think if you gave them that, it would be just that's what happened in the movie in Man of Steel. There was this giant battle in the city. I was supposed to like that, but I didn't, because all I could think about was, man, everybody's falling apart. There's all these buildings, all this collateral damage, and then they recognize that and they try to address it in BVS. And I remember that one scene where they say, "Oh, it's a good thing everybody's off of work down there." Like, I don't think it's ever been a time in any city I've been to where everyone's off of work and still isn't people walking around shopping or something. So they were just doing a terrible job of explaining stuff. And
that part was dumb, though. I mean, Superman, did he not realize what's going on around him? Couldn't just grab him and like fly him somewhere and fight him there?
Well, that's the thing that bothered me. There were so many opportunities, literally within the same space of that movie, to genuinely fix that problem, and they elected not to. So, because that's the only way I can see it. If I'm not that smart, so if I'm over here and I'm able to come up with a solution that almost seems like it could be a good movie, then they probably thought about it, but they neglected the whole thing. So
yeah. I mean, we got a comment. John said he wants a Deathstroke in Batman, which you saw Deathstroke, so hey, maybe, right? Never know.
Is he gonna make it in there? Is that what Matt Reeves is planning on doing?
Yeah, I don't know what Snyder's plan. I don't know if they're just dumping out the window and going, who knows.
It says Hancock was a better Superman. Interesting.
Brandon Routh Brandon Routh Superman was just horrible.
But his Clark Kent was decent.
I don't even blame him. That movie was horrible. Yeah.
It had potential, though. I liked Spacey as Lex Luthor, and now I know that he really is Lex Luthor.
Oh, that's not cool, bro.
Oh. Why, are you a Spacey apologist?
I don't know. Did he apologize yet? I don't know.
Let's see.
Yeah, no, I mean that movie was that was bad because he was making a sequel to, was it Superman 2? Was that his, right? That was his plan. Like that was actually a sequel to the original Superman movies.
The Donner films.
Yeah, why would you do that? Like, so is what it is. Is what it is.
I was talking to my.
Is that you, Mike? I thought somebody else came to the chat. I was like, that's scary. I didn't invite anybody else. Somebody says, yo, that Darkwing Duck versus Mighty Mouse is dope.
Yeah, that was my take on the Dark Knight comic. Yeah. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I like drawing Mighty Mouse because he never got to do.
Here I come to save the day.
That's right.
I used to love that cartoon. All right, so back to Transformers. Soundwave with Ravage popping out of his chest. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean that's what when I saw that, I was like, oh look, we got a proper looking Transformer. You know, even like is it Starscream, right?
Starscream.
Yeah, he looks like Starscream. Like
No, that's Blitzwing.
well, the
No,
first one had
first
Starscream.
one's
I think this
Starscream.
one had this one had who you just said. I don't know like all the names of these old characters anymore. I don't
No,
know them.
the jet that everybody thought was Starscream, they came out and said it was Blitzwing.
Oh, either way, it still looked. You know what I mean? It looked like
I think they don't know what they're talking
No,
about.
I hear what you're saying.
yeah,
I hear
yeah.
what you're saying.
He's
It
green
looks
red.
like some I would buy at a store right away because I'm 10. So
But that clip where Shockwave is in the trailer, Starscream is in the background, I believe.
oh, okay. Yeah, no, it looks great. Like I said, that's what I wanted. That's what I want out of GI Joe movies. Give them the stupid gimmicky like costumes and their own little specialty, and give me that. Don't give me The Rock and Bruce Willis and who played Hawk? What was his name? Not Hawk, not Hawk. Well,
yeah, it
was it?
General Hawk. It was
Well, Brandon Fraser was a G.I. Joe dude.
He was Flint. No, he wasn't Flint. He wasn't Flint. He was
No, he was Falcon.
Falcon. Was it Falcon? He was the guy that was he was like the knockoff Flint when they made the animated movie. Yeah.
Wait,
Flint
he was not in that movie.
Oh well, Flint was in the Flint was
No, Brandon Fraser was not in the movie.
Brandon Fraser was in G.I.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Brandon Fraser is in the first one, I think. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I promise you, man.
He's in it for like 5 minutes, if that.
I beg to differ.
Yeah,
it was so. Yeah, I will put my commission on that motherfucker. That Brandon Fraser is in that movie.
he is. No, he's in the movie. Yeah, I could sign off on that for sure. So give him his commission, whatever
Come
it is.
on, E. Come on, E.
Shut up, Michael.
But yeah, he's in it. But Dennis Quaid, he played
Quaid,
Flint.
yeah,
That's right. And those movies sucked. Just sucked. and we got a proper Cobra, and he sucked.
With the battle helmet and everything.
Yeah,
Storm Shadow was cool. Storm Shadow was my favorite character in those movies. He was
I mean, him and Snake Eyes look like they're from the comic. You know,
Snake Eyes.
Firefly was pretty badass. Firefly was good. I thought he was with his little fireflies and the saboteurs. He was banging.
Oh, he was cool. Yeah, he was all right. Yeah, and I thought The Rock did a good job as what was he?
He was Roadblock. He was not. That's not Roadblock. I mean, come on.
He didn't sing song line.
Yeah, Roadblock. You know, yeah.
This supposed to make Dumbo or whatever.
Roadblock was fun. Roadblock always had, like you said, he always rhymed. He loved to say jive turkey. That was one of his things. And always, they didn't care back then. They're like, this still works. Nobody's gonna be offended. And
jive turkey.
Yeah, and then when I was like, 8 years old, I was like, yeah, jive turkey. Going to school, people were like, where'd you learn that from? Yo, Joe. They're like, oh, he's American. He fights for freedom wherever there's trouble. Don't worry about him.
He only knows half the battle.
That's right. So, yep. So, I'm telling you, man. Good times. That's what we want, though, right? I mean, that's what you can make it campy and you can make it good. Don't have to. Man, those G.I. Joe movies sucked. So they just suck. I mean, they went. First of all, Bruce Willis is the original G.I. Joe, number one.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, we go to his house. He has lots of guns because he's ready. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't. Just stupid as hell.
You stop it right now.
It was horrible.
Apologize to Bruce Willis right now.
No way, jab turkey. It's just trash on top of trash. Just.
Well, all right, boys. I appreciate you. I have to skedaddle. We're on for about an hour. I'm gonna try to keep these to like an hour so that people can enjoy them and get to know my friends and the personalities. Thank you guys in the chat for jamming with us today. We did talk about everything almost except for Transformers, but it was good. And we revisited my hate for the DCEU movies, so that's always fun.
And my love.
And yes, your love and passion. Mm-hmm. So y'all be good. I will talk to y'all soon. Get ready for the next Epic Doodles coming at you with more good stuff.
Later.